So we're back. It's been a while since we talked about this. I'm going to be manual swapping this car finally. Jesus Christ. I'll kind of go over the process. I had a video on how to cut the holes and put the clutch pedal and the master in. I can also go over the lines down to the slave. There is essentially the most important part of wiring is right in here somewhere. You gotta like pigtail two together for your neutral safety. On top of that, we got a package. It's the tube front for the gold car. So I'm gonna open that and we're just gonna kind of look at it. It's like an eBay tube front. So we're gonna look at it though, see how it matches up. Let me just say, she looks so aggressive. The thick tires. We can check out this amber wear. Oh yeah. Plus, see if I can get it to do it here. You can't, hold on. See if I can get it to do it. I don't know if you can see that, but we've either got a wheel bearing, coilover, or something's broke. That's why the car is not really on the road right now. So she just looks so good, so aggressive, so thick. The tires are so thick. Yeah, super stoked to make this thing a manual finally. Get rid of this terrible 2 right there. So with it, you'll get these plates. I do believe these plates go like right here, so that you can have like a flat surface. And then you have the plate that goes here. And these bars essentially are made up kind of like right in there, and then go around to that, which is cool, simple, gives you a lot of room. But this is the coolest part in my opinion. This thing goes, it'll be like right here, I do believe, but you can like, it's supposed to have a little bolts apart piece so you can kind of cut it and then pull it apart as you need to pull the engine in and out of the car. Yeah, it's pretty much that for now. The gold car is not going to make much progress until I figure out how to get the wiring done for the VG. Started on it, really complicating, so I've kind of just been slacking off on it. Plus I extended the fuse box, which makes it even harder to get that done. The fuse box is like way back there, if you guys remember. So big project car. It's going to be a long time, long time. So the first part to this is going to be pretty simple. You're just going to be taking the center console out, which is, you know, it's like 2 bolts here or something like that, and then there's a couple in here, and it should lift out. These usually have connectors on the bottom that won't allow you to pull it out so far, so you'll have to unhook them. But that's pretty simple so far. So I kind of just took some screws out and lifted this up. It looks like there's a Carter pin like right there. If you take that out, I would say this should just pop. Oh, man, a little bendage. This just pops right out. And if you take these two, like 4 or 10, they're 10. So if you take those 4 10s out and then unhook the shifter from the auto trans down there, which we'll get into later, you should be able to lift this right out. Nissan makes this super easy. There's already a hole cut, it looks like, for the trans, which is really nice, because when I did my Camaro there wasn't a hole cut. I had to measure it myself, which kind of sucks. So, but for the inside part, that's going to be it. After the, if you've watched and done the clutch pedals, that should be it until you're actually taking the trans itself out. So the next part is going to be to take off the exhaust. If you have the stock exhaust, good luck. But here's the Carter pin I was talking about under the trans. If you take that, pull that like lever off, you can just pull that automatic unit out. So, but yeah, the exhaust is the next part for me. And then from there, just the drive shaft and everything essentially off the automatic trans, but I guess we'll slowly get there as we go. The automatic exhaust, or the normal stock exhaust, is really a pain in the ass, so good luck, guys. I really don't have that much advice except for a lot of WD-40 to get it off. So I pulled that line off that was there, unhooked it down below, took the 4 bolts out, just kind of unhooked the wiring, and it comes right out. And like I said, the hole's already there, which is really nice that Nissan done that for you. And this you can put on eBay, whatever you want to do with it, try to make some money back, I guess. And you'll usually make money at this point anyways, because there's like change and shit in the car. So, you know, that goes towards the race car funds, I guess. This thing will get annoying from now on till the end of time, so just shove it back there like an ugly stepchild because it's done. I'm not really sure how to pull that all the way out. I'm not really going to worry with that. But yeah, now you're clear for shifters and all that. So this leaves us to the next part, the drive shaft. So essentially, you're going to take out these 3 12mm bolts, pull this off, take out the 14s that are in here, leave them, you're going to need them, and then the 2 17s that hold up the center section, and the drive shaft should come out, and your automatic trans is pretty much free to be dropped once you support it. And you know, you can support it, let that center section off, so you can support it, let the center section go, and then drop it down on a jack, which will give you room to take out the bolts that you need from the engine part. And then you can just kind of twist and slide, and it comes out pretty easily. So let's get this drive shaft all the way out. And yes, I did fully take the exhaust out. I wasn't going to, but I did anyways. Like I said, if you have a stock exhaust, good luck. It's a pain. Before we go any further, I know this may not be the most like wow video. It's pretty basic. I've done this swap essentially. You know, like I've took a manual trans out, replaced the clutch and flywheel and stuff, put it back in, and I've pulled KAs out. I gotta say, I would almost rather pull the KA and trans entirely than to just do it the way I'm doing it. But with this car being my daily, I don't have the time to replace all the hoses and everything else. If you had the time, I would just do it that way. I really would. It's so much easier, and you get to clean everything up, EGR delete, and really clean up your engine bay while you're doing this. So just a little side note there. Now this part's super important. You're gonna want a jack holding up the trans to take the weight off while you take out the trans bolts, which I believe are 17s as well. So yeah, that's your next step. And then as you let it down, you see the wires and stuff that need to be disconnected. So I've lowered it down a little. The next part's going to require a lot of 10s. All this wiring has to come out. Also, your transmission cooler lines, these have to come out, but there's a lot of 10s, like that little one right there that holds them on. And you want to do that before you try to pull it. I've done that before and not took them off, and it's a pain to get them off once the trans is loose. You have nothing really to torque with. So yeah, the next is going to be getting all this wiring off. Be really gentle, delicate, make sure not to break any of it. You don't know what you're going to need or keep. I don't know right now, so let's do that. So it's been a couple of days since we were last recording. The automatic trans is actually already out. I know I left off kind of in the process of pulling it. If you can't pull an auto trans, you really probably shouldn't be doing the swap. But I get caught up just like getting this stuff done. But the next part is probably the hardest part, and it's going to be getting the pilot bearing out. Alright, so it's been weeks. It literally has been weeks since I started making this fucking video, and it's literally this pilot bearing. So when you manual swap, there's an automatic bearing, which is nothing like a manual bearing. It fits upon and I would guess that. And so there's a tool with a slide hammer that's got 2 claws that come out. That's how everyone suggests using it. That is not the easiest way. I sat here for days with a 5-pound slide hammer and the 2 claws trying to get that off, and it didn't budge. I tried the grease in it with the bolt trick. I tried every trick in the book. You cannot break these out, so that's not a way to do it. I went to Harbor Freight, and I promise you, if you're gonna do the swap, you have to save up to get this. It's a slide hammer and bearing puller set. It essentially opens up in 4 ways instead of just 2. There's no lip on this bearing to get it out. So you really, really, really have to have a good connection. And I sat down there with this thing for probably 10 minutes and was about to give up. And I noticed it moved a little bit, and I just started hammering with everything I fucking had. Like, I was storing this thing. And it finally popped out after weeks of fucking trying all these different tools and tricks. And it, so there's another video, and that's where I seen this, but it wasn't good quality. Jesus Christ at getting that out. And I know I skipped pulling the actual trans out of the car. I feel like if you can't pull a trans out of a car, it's probably not something you should be trying to do anyways. But essentially there are plates on the bottom of the trans in the engine. You're gonna want to take them off. And then you have 4 bolts that'll be inside of the flywheel going into the torque converter. You can leave the torque converter in the car and just pull the trans out, but the trans has to be twisted and unlocked out of the torque converter to do that. Not suggested while in the car. If you pull the engine, it'll be a lot easier. Yes, this is the hardest part of doing this, and I'm so glad I found this tool. But that's where I'm gonna end getting the fucking automatic out. I mean, it's been weeks. And it's been a hard week. It's been a really hard week in my life. So this car is just not helping. Yeah, it's out. Now we get the flywheel in, and the pressure plate, and the clutch, and then try to get the trans lifted up and in. I have pretty much all day, so I'm gonna try to fuck with this car as much as I can until the next one, guys. Have a good day. Remember to smash the like button. Remember to share to anybody else. Do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do, and then we're gonna grow. All right.